College of Social Sciences. Tuesday, 8th of July 2025, 12:30 p.m. Today, we're coming to you from the grand halls of the University of Birmingham, an institution steeped in discovery and research since 1900. The University of Birmingham was the UK's first civic university, a place designed for everyone, not just the privileged few. Every one of our graduates today is a part of that proud tradition of learning and achievement. Degree congregations at the University of Birmingham date back to 1901 and are held here in the Great Hall, right at the heart of our Edgbaston campus. Attended by nearly 30,000 graduates and guests each year, these events are the highlight of the university calendar and represent for many students the conclusion of their studies at Birmingham. Originally built as a cathedral to learning, the Great Hall never fails to impress our visitors. The building is Grade 2 listed, and it's really the details that make the space so special. It features a trompe-l'oeil domed ceiling located above its formal marble entrance. The entrance is bordered by archways that are designed to draw the eye towards the centre of the room. You can hear is being performed by our very own student musicians. They often perform versions of modern pop hits or songs with a Birmingham connection. As our graduands wait for the ceremony to start, this is a time for them to reflect on how far they've come. They may think back to the first lecture they attended in a packed lecture hall, making friendships that will last a lifetime. Maybe they're thinking back to their first eureka moment, when their chosen field of study finally clicked into place. Or perhaps they're thinking about late-night debates in the Guild, that group project that pushed them to their limits, or the spark of inspiration when they saw their research was really making an impact. Today they close one chapter and open another. A degree from the University of Birmingham is more than just a name on a certificate. Our graduates are recognised by employers for their resilience, creativity and dedication. Soon, they'll find many exciting opportunities waiting for them. shout out to the staff, students and volunteers who have made this special day possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Also, a reminder to share your photos from today on social media. Make sure to tag our accounts so we can engage with your moment. The audience is a mixture of graduates who sit in the back of the hall and their loved ones who are seated near the stage. During the ceremony, the graduates will make their way up to the stage, accept their scroll, and be applauded by their families and fellow students. In the sea of formal robes in the ceremony, attendees may spot black gowns, red and green gowns, and possibly some other eye-catching colours. The black robes are worn by those graduating with their bachelor's and master's. Green and red robes are for those picking up a doctorate degree. To the families, friends and supporters watching from home today, your encouragement, pep talks and well-timed cups of tea have helped our graduates reach this day. Let's take a moment to appreciate the parents who still don't quite understand what their child studied, but are immensely proud regardless. Well done, everyone. You've earned this celebration. Soon, our ceremony will begin. There's a degree of pomp and circumstance to the day that echoes back through the years. These rituals connect our graduands today to students from the very first British universities formed in the 13th century. This procession isn't just tradition for tradition's sake. It's the university's way of honouring the past, affirming the authority of scholarship, and marking the threshold our graduands are about to cross. it's time for the procession to start. Senior academics of the university are led into the Great Hall by 2 mace bearers and will sit on stage throughout the ceremony. There is a mace bearer at the front of the line and one at the back. The latter is called the Esquire Bedell. Both carry large silver maces that they put down on stage. This is a ceremonial kick-off to the day. The mace bearers are usually staff members from the university who have volunteered to take part. Row by row, the procession makes its way up to the stage, passing proud faces in the congregation, students in mortarboards, parents wiping away tears, tutors exchanging proud glances. A senior member of the university, such as the Chancellor or a provost, will be the last to take their place. They'll stand before the attendees and declare the congregation open.
Hello, everybody. I declare the congregation open.
Well, good afternoon to you all, and a very warm welcome to Birmingham. It's wonderful to see so many of you here today at our beautiful campus. My name is Professor Nick Vaughan-Williams. As Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Head of the College of Social Sciences, it's my pleasure to welcome you, our graduands, and your friends, family and supporters to this, your graduation ceremony. We are here today to celebrate the completion of this part of your educational journey, with all the ups and downs of study and university life that it will have entailed. You did it. This, of course, is the moment you've all been working towards. To reach this moment, you will have spent time exploring new ideas and experiencing the thrill of intellectual discovery. You will have met people who have inspired you in so many different ways. You've learnt about perseverance, about balancing study, work and play, and about the value of friendship and community. All of these lessons are ones that you will carry with you long after you leave this great hall. Many of you will be leaving education behind and diving into the real world, either for the first time or back into your workplaces for those who've taken time out to study. I urge you not to lose the spark of curiosity you've nurtured during your studies. Keep listening to that voice in your head that says, "Go on, have a look, see what's out there," and keep asking why, how, what if. In today's ceremony, the university will award an EGRETAT degree. This is a degree that the University of Birmingham awards only in truly exceptional circumstances. Today, this will be awarded in honour of Paula Schwavers. Paula was at the University of Birmingham for 14 years and made a large and sustained contribution to the university's community. She was very well known and greatly liked by staff and students across the institution. In addition to her academic work, Paula was an active member of the university and PhD student community. Paula made a big contribution to the life of the Department of Political Science and International Studies through her work on equality, diversity and inclusion, and by helping to organise a free weekly yoga session which was enjoyed by both staff and students. I know that Paula will be greatly missed in Polsis and the School of Government. In awarding Paula with an Egretat degree, we will be celebrating the achievements of a remarkable individual. Today is an especially meaningful day, as we are not only celebrating a big milestone in your life, but also in the life of this great university as we mark our 125th anniversary year. Together, we have celebrated this milestone in memorable ways. You'll remember seeing Old Joe lit up in vibrant colours at the start of the year, and you might have taken selfies with your friends. For a few months, the clock tower became a beacon of light that announced our celebration across the whole city. In the spring, we reaffirmed our connection to the city and region by signing the Birmingham Civic Agreement, which was renewed and further strengthened our commitment as the country's first civic university. As summer arrived, I hope that you found time to enjoy all of the events and social activities in the Green Heart as part of UOB Extra. You may have also enjoyed our Come to Campus festival and the amazing concert a few weeks ago. The sun shone on thousands of students, alumni, staff and our neighbours who came together to celebrate our anniversary. In the evening, under the open sky, the university's philharmonic and jazz orchestras, alongside special guest performers, delivered a powerful tribute to Birmingham's rich musical heritage, from the elegance of Elgar to the electric spirit of ELO. It was a celebration that was proudly Brummie and unmistakably ours. It was also a reminder that this university, founded in 1900 and now ranked 76th in the world, has always been more than buildings and books. It is quite simply our people who bring it to life. So I'm genuinely proud to be standing here on behalf of a university where inspirational people do inspirational things, and where every day we have the ability to change lives for the better. Today, I'm really inspired by what you have achieved, and I hope that as you look back, you will feel an enormous sense of pride. So, graduates, let's take a moment to acknowledge all those who have played a crucial role in your achievements to date. Behind me are some of our university community who have encouraged your intellectual curiosity, nurtured your creativity, and inspired you to question and to explore. You have also been supported by our tutors and specialist professional services teams. So I invite you now to thank everyone who has supported you during your time here. In front of me and tuning in from all corners of the globe are your friends, family and supporters, ready with tissues and cameras, brimming with pride for all that you have achieved. You will all have that person, all those people who believed in you, people who supported you and showed you kindness, and who made sacrifices alongside you, and without whom you wouldn't be here. So, graduates, let's give a massive round of applause and huge cheer to say thank you to all of your supporters and the people who made today possible. Now, in a moment, you will come up onto this stage and the Chancellor, Sandy Okoro, will admit you to your degree. This is your big moment. So when your name is read out, that will be the formal moment of your graduation. And family and friends, that is your cue to make a lot of noise. In fact, we have only one rule during this ceremony. to celebrate and to do so very loudly. So, one final piece of advice from me, please do take care on the steps, give a big smile for the cameras, and don't forget to savour your moment. My warmest congratulations to you all. Very well done.
My name is René Lindstedt. I'm the head of the School of Government, and it's my great pleasure to read out the names of the graduates today. Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my program, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in their absence, to the degree for which they are to be presented.
College of Social Sciences, School of Government, Doctor of Philosophy, for research into climate adaptation decision-making of women farmers in Uganda, Flavia Amayo. For research into the security development nexus in Sierra Leone, Solomon Bunting Calker. For research into the role of hope in shaping conciliatory gestures and adversarial relationships with special reference to South Korean diplomacy towards North Korea, Ji Young Jang. For research into the consequences of interventions in Somalia, Abdiweli Osman Garad. For research into the endurance of the political party GERB in Bulgaria, Yuxian Lin. For research into the role of security dilemma dynamics in the collapse of peace settlements, a case study of the 1972 Addis Ababa peace process, Lemi Lokwango Lomuro. For research into how councillors and English local councils perceive audit committees and the impact of those perceptions on the audit committee's governance and accountability roles, Eileen Ellen Masters. For research into the factors that determine the level and type of collaboration between state and non-state actors in coping with natural disasters in Indonesia, Krishna Puji Ramajanti. For research into the euro-dollar markets and the financialization of British capitalism and its impact on governance in Britain, Paula Schwevers. For research into the moral complexity of the border in the context of migration, Jacob Skellhorn-French. For research into the 18-Nation Disarmament Committee and the Non-Proliferation Treaty origin story, Alice Hannah Spillman. Master of Arts, Global Conflict and Cooperation, Callum Robert Wiley. International Relations, Antonia Nkechi Tulualilche. Master of Public Administration, Finance, Doreen Boache. Kiera Leary Princess Brooks. Public Administration, Charles Osega Essine. Master of Science, Conflict, Security, and Development, Keisha Osei Asibi. Development Policy and Politics with Mo Ibrahim Foundation Internship, Sharon Bodowa Bodo. Environment, Development, and Politics, Ethan Thomas Scott. Global Cooperation and Security, Lucia Rovnakova. Political Psychology of International Relations, Claudia Nicoletta Courage. Public Management and Leadership, Paul Alexander Gordon. James Hughes. Georgina Louise Neal. Nancy Mae Perkins. Master of Science, Howard James Woldsmith. Bachelor of Arts, International Development and Politics, Nicole Berger. Emma Gabani. Georgina Grace Kirkpatrick. Fatima Umer Badani. International Development and Politics with Year Abroad, James Day. International Relations, Nisba Ansari. Oswell Burry. Yuju Day. Jacob Dawson. Charlotte Findley. James Nicholas Girandani. Shrishti Haritash. Sexing He. Harry Johnson. Rebecca Johnson. Ria Wickham Karavadra. Abby Kenrick. Vanessa Williams Kurabo Nyangoma. Yifei Ma. Alexandra Malashko. Ife Chukode Okadebu. Matthew Oliver. Temilade Oyelosi. Hugh Nen Fung. Ethan Snaith. Kida Sula. Henry Wagner. Katie Wright. Xin-Yi Wu. International Relations and Development, Atan Lewis Brown. Rachel Cameron. Madeline Carr. Abby Cook. Victoria Georgia Hood. Jasmine Lewis. Jacqueline Mathula Jonah. Rebecca Pinnock. Angus Pollock. Sophia Tasneem. Chaos Testuri. International Relations and Development with Year Abroad, Emily Brooks. Lily Jane Edwards. Amarno Inai. Lydia Legerton. Aoko McLean. Zainab Ubihi. International Relations with Economics, Famata Ba. Beverly Lacey Bijina. G.K. Go. Amina Mia. Aaron Napier. Izzy Nichols. Nicholas Pout. Akjaje Purander. Dominic Rose. Isabella Tilsey. Oliver Vicentin. International Relations with Economics with Year Abroad. Zachary Charles Setti. International Relations with French. Inès Afanye. Samantha Nyasha Muchina. Seinabu Enji. International Relations with German. Anna-Marie Fischer. International Relations with Spanish. Abigail Butler. Deshaun Cardy. Natalia Kichio Ruaga. Emilia Clotworthy. Hamish Cunningham. Isabel Marion Johnson. Morinsola Phillips. International Relations with Year Abroad. Charlotte Courtney. Megan Hansen. Molly Letson. Isabel Marie Fuentes Rowe. Hannah Rose Solly. Eve Wagstaff. International Relations with Year in Computer Science, Maria Kononova. Political Economy, Dia Devraj Rupchandani. Political Science and International Relations, Lucy Roberts. Chloe Emma Troyer. Political Science and International Relations with Year in Computer Science, Maria Yubi. Politics, Maria Oluwatobi Adoronmu. Nana Mpe Arkoful Mansa. Ethan Beachy. Rose Cashmore. Brandon Clark. Beth Coddington. Lily Giles. Emma Gillant. Jacob Hamlin. Elliot Hill.
As I mentioned in my opening remarks, today we're gathering to celebrate your graduation and to mark the 125th anniversary of our founding. As part of a special programme of activities and events, we have invited distinguished members of our university community to inspire, guide and entertain you. Today's speaker is Baroness Valerie Amos. Valerie is a distinguished British politician, diplomat and academic, and her contributions span public service, international relations and higher education. Born in Guyana, Valerie moved to the United Kingdom in 1963 and has since become a trailblazer in British public life. She made history in 2003 as the first black woman appointed to the UK Cabinet, serving as Secretary of State for International Development. She went on to serve as a leader of the House of Lords and Lord President of the Council. Valerie's international work has been equally groundbreaking. She served as the UN Under-Secretary-General for Humanitarian Affairs and Emergency Relief Coordinator, and she has also held the post of British High Commissioner to Australia. In academia, Valerie has continued to break new ground, first as Director of SOAS, University of London, and later as Master of University College, Oxford, where she became both the first black person and the first woman to hold that position. In 2022, she was appointed as a Lady Companion of the Order of the Garter, the first black person in the nearly 700-year history of the Order to receive this honour. Valerie is an alumna of this university, completing her MA under the tutelage of her mentor and one of the founding figures of cultural studies, Professor Stuart Hall. Valerie's impact has not only been felt in her professional accomplishments, but also in her commitment to public service and to education as the cornerstone of our culture, shaping communities, driving progress, and sustaining our democracy. So, please join me in welcoming our distinguished guest, Baroness Valerie Amos, as she helps us to mark this important milestone and to inspire our class of 2025 as they embark on the next chapter of their story.
Chancellor, colleagues from Birmingham, graduates, family, friends and supporters, can I say what a pleasure and honour it is to have been asked to be one of the speakers during this year, Birmingham University's 125th anniversary. But Professor Vaughan Williams, I have to tell you that nobody told me about the entertainment bit, so I fear that it's going to be a little serious. This is such a significant milestone in Birmingham University's history. In a city which has been a centre of industry, philanthropy, inclusion, diversity and civic engagement over generations. A city, if you look at the history with Joseph Chamberlain, but also the philanthropy of the Cadburys, committed to tackling poverty and inequality. Birmingham is always referred to as our country's second city, but it is so much more than that. The vibrancy, the culture, all its own and special. And over the years, this is a city which has cemented its identity, and that was very much on show, I felt, at the Commonwealth Games in 2022. This university and this city have played a pivotal role in shaping who I am today. The values which guide me and the deep commitment that I have to social justice and to tackling inequality. When I was preparing for today, I was thinking about when I was here. I was a graduate student so long ago, it was 1976. I was at the Centre for Contemporary Cultural Studies, led, as Professor Vaughan Williams indicated, by sociologist, cultural theorist, and political activist, Professor Stuart Hall. Very much a mentor, not just to me, but to so many others. And it was a wonderful, wonderful place to be. Radical, thought-provoking, the debates and discussions that we had on a daily basis We talked about history, contemporary politics, what was happening globally. We talked about the future. We were deeply embedded in thinking about world affairs, in thinking about politics, people. We talked a lot about power and how it's distributed and how it's used. We talked politics all the time. We talked race and we talked feminism. But we didn't just talk and engage in intellectual activity. We also did. We were parts of different social movements at that time, and one of the things that has always stayed with me was the engagement that I had in communities here in Birmingham, very much part of a community in Handsworth at that time, and it taught me so much. But I was also part of a network that was bringing together issues around culture and society. Lots of questions about identity, about who we were as a nation-state, about the nature of nationalism, who represented us and how. We knew the importance of bringing together intellectuals, but also people from culture, from the arts, musicians, artists, who were reinterpreting the national narrative, the national story. And we were very conscious that overhanging it all was the rise of right-wing movements in Britain, which had been partly fueled by a speech which had been made here in Birmingham in 1968 by Enoch Powell, when he talked about immigrants and rivers of blood. And yet that was not our experience as a collective, inclusive community. People from all over the world coming together to share their experiences, but also to discuss and debate together, to learn from each other. And as I reflect on that time now, I'm conscious that you are going out into a world which feels very uncertain, where there is constant change, certainly the fastest change that I have seen in my lifetime. A world where we are both more connected but also more disconnected. A world where the grounds for discussion and debate about difference seems to be much more limited than it was in the past. Where power balances are shifting, not just between nations, but also between people, between individuals. And where there is insecurity, where we are looking at each other and thinking, where do I fit? And I cannot even start on the technological shifts. Social media, artificial intelligence, the context of culture and education, and how we can harness AI. The growth in populist movements, concerns about climate change. It would be easy to be pessimistic, but I'm not, because around me I see young people like you grasping opportunities which are created by that change. Creating startups to address the sustainability challenge, to bear down on waste, focusing on carbon capture and storage, looking at sustainable agriculture, crop varieties, reducing reliance of those crops on water, looking at how we can continue to build sustainable homes. The list just goes on and on. Recognizing that AI is a tool which can help us to transform our societies. So this is your chance to shape what comes next. One of the big lessons I have learnt through my career is to recognize power. You have it. You think you don't, but you have it. Think about it and think about how you want to use it. Because the power that you have comes through education. It comes through knowledge, it comes through the networks you've created, and it comes from grasping the opportunities that will present to you as they arise. When you see success, when you look at somebody like me, you have no idea how we started. We didn't start out as successful. I came to this country as an immigrant. I was 9 years old, in a family which was passionate about education. I grew up in a part of this country which was not remotely diverse in the 1960s, so much so that people used to come to touch my skin and touch my hair because they had never seen a black person before. I have seen how Britain has changed in all its complexities and contradictions. And we as individuals are part of that complexity. We are part of that contradiction. I have had so many firsts. And there's a bit of me that always feels when there is another one, why has it taken so long? But I also think to myself, well, somebody has to be first. Somebody has to grasp the nettle. And there will be moments in your lives when you will be first. Please don't shy away from it. You will be called a role model. I remember the first time that happened to me, I thought to myself, I'm not a role model, I'm just me. But recognizing the power of symbolism, the fact that others looking like me could see somebody like me in those positions of influence, over time, I have embraced it because I know it makes a difference. It was important that people saw me in a British cabinet, saw me sitting in Parliament as the leader of the House of Lords, have seen me leading academic institutions. And I'm always asked, which of the jobs that I have done have I enjoyed the most or learnt the most from? Now, I have had access to those roles, of course, because I have worked hard, but also because you have to be lucky sometimes. You have to recognize when an opportunity presents itself and you grasp it. One of the biggest lessons I learned was in South Africa, where I worked for many years after Nelson Mandela came into power. And I saw a country and a people who, because of their struggle, were actually able to talk to any other country in the world. They could talk to Iran at the same time that they could talk to the United States, because they understood the power of relationships and negotiation. So for me, it's about what we do with the education that we have received. Success is not about the job and the title. It's about what we do with it. It's about the opportunity to make a difference. It's about opening up institutions which are closed. It's about finding ways to signal change. But it can't be done without support and without guidance. It can't be done if we don't make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And the hardest thing is to think about when to call out discrimination, when to call out stereotyping, because you will face that. You will take different paths. Some of you will choose to work inside institutions. Some of you will set up your own businesses. Some of you will want to campaign and be on the outside. Whatever path you choose, your education is your superpower. You'll be called on to use it in many difficult situations, but it will help you to transform and adapt. It's what this university and this city did for me. Change doesn't have to be done to you. You can grasp the nettle and be part of that change. You are leaving a university where its research goals are to achieve a fairer world by addressing global challenges, advancing communities, and fighting stigma. What could be more powerful than that? A university which wants to do world-class research, to be an outstanding global educational institution, and this is the key, an exemplary civic university. That is about recognizing people, it's about recognizing time, it's about recognizing place and space. So I hope you leave here with hope and optimism. History shows us what we as people can achieve. I'm a product of my education, and one of the things I'm proudest of is the charity that my sister and I founded. It's called the Amos Bursary, which helps to support young people through education. Education is the foundation to do the things which have mattered to me. I hope it will be so for you, because the whole world is out there. Grasp it, change it, make it yours. Thank you.
Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my program, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees. Patrick Hodgson. Helena Kalendaridis. Nima Koshkberry. Bethan Miles. Maria O'Carroll. Ellie Pratt. Alistair Rowe. Oliver Sesson. Francesca Taylor. Eleanor Wilson. Politics and International Relations, Maria Abdullah. Herbie Abraham. Manur Akhtar. Dari Alajmi. Fatima Aldekail. Harriet Alexander. Abdul Hadi Al-Hamlan. Arva Nasser Kamis Al-Umadi Al-Tenaigi. Momina Beg. Fatima Bandali. Sara Blanco Huerta. Archie Bourne. Alice Brinson. Hara Chute. Hamish Cross. Liberty Des Cesare. Chinfei Deng. Aaron Dillon. Jada Dovey. Oliver Dunn. Nicholas Easton. Amira Tasnim Hamid. Haley Hicks. Maisie Hillard. Jacob Hope. Jing Shan Natalie Huan. Robert Christopher Hughes. Emma Gentiana Hughes. Joshua Humphrey. Asumaja Iqbal. Anisa Jahan. Catherine Jones. Lila Kane. Amira Khan. Susua Kon. Jack Lamb. Zihe Lee. Noah Benjamin Libish. Phyllis Suen Lo. Francesca Lowe. Alfie Luck. Ella Marshall. Rory Marshall. Minal Masood Khan. Amira Mia. Jake Moore. Natasha Mtakula. Amy Nguyenim. Tadarvanashi Clara Angovi. Enoch Oteng Jr. Isabel Parker Graham. Anand Parmar. Madison Peroni. Edward Perry. Sahil Sandhu. Amarian Scarlett Reed. James Stanley. Ash Stone. Gurprasad Sal. Eloisa Take. Chloe Walker Collins. Ziyi Wang. Lucy Wickstead. Jamie Woodhouse. Politics and International Relations with Year Abroad, Eleanor Elizabeth D'Alessandro. Kiran Hardava. Bella Mihailova. Xing Hei Long. Alexander Mallinson. Mia Jessica Patterson. Rachel Janine Tierney. Isabella Cornelia Grace Van Dyke. Krupali Vasant Kumar. Leah Wilchett. Politics and Philosophy, Alexander Cole. Aliyah Ahmad Gohir. Anna Mason. Renee Nefera Kerr Pierre White. Alia Mariam Said. Sienna Simmons Dance. Eve Slater. Politics and Philosophy with Year Abroad. Tiana Marielle Areola. Alice McIver. Miranda Stone. Politics and Social Policy, Jaden Awad. Sana Gari. Songhung Lee. Chirk Yin Wong. Politics and Sociology, Rohan Bahia. Talia Bernstein. Mikhail Dwiji. William Nathaniel Fuller. Megan Hansen. Florence Johnson. Orla Keogh. Gabriella Nuttall. Louis Toon. Lexi Winfield. Yusra Sakir. Politics and Sociology with Year Abroad, Caitlin Robin McGraw. Madeline Smith. Politics with History, Philip Harrison. Oliver Richardson. Politics with Year Abroad, Eleanor Harriet Falshaw. School of Social Policy, Bachelor of Arts, Policy, Politics, and Economics, Abdilahali Warsame. School of Government, Bachelor of Arts, Politics and International Relations, Kazaina Shah. And it's now my great pleasure to present this year's Chancellor's Prize, which goes to Elliot Hill. And finally, it gives me great pleasure to introduce today's student representative who will give a speech to the graduating cohort. This year's student speaker is Fatima Umer Mandani.
Good afternoon, honored guests, beloved family and friends, dedicated staff, and my extraordinary fellow graduates, those here in the hall and those joining us online. My name is Fatma Madani, and it is a true honor to stand here today as one voice among many. This is a moment of pride, reflection, and deep gratitude. It's not only about the degrees we now hold, it's about the journey we've taken to get here and the people who walked beside us along the way. Whether this is your first degree or your third, whether you cross countries or simply cross campus, this moment belongs to all of us. For many of us, the University of Birmingham has been more than just a place of study. It gave me confidence when I didn't feel ready. It gave me a platform to grow into who I was becoming. It gave me a home. And that sense of belonging didn't just come from lectures or assessments. It came in the quiet comfort of old Joe's chimes, in the late-night study sessions at the library, in the camaraderie of student societies, and in conversations that sparked ideas bigger than ourselves. It came from feeling part of something larger, something purposeful. We still remember those first days, navigating new buildings, second-guessing every room number, and trying not to look too lost while checking Google Maps. But the moment we stepped into our first lectures, everything shifted. We were surrounded by people who brought stories, questions, and insights that stretched far beyond the syllabus. In those moments, we realized we weren't just here to learn, we were here to grow, contribute, and challenge each other in ways that would shape us for life. For many of us, this University of Birmingham has been more than just a place of study. The School of Government has challenged us to look beyond headlines and statistics, to grapple with complexity, confront uncomfortable truths, and see ourselves not just as observers, but as contributors to real change. It reminded us that progress begins not with certainty, but with courage. The courage to question, to challenge, and to hope. And that mindset took us far beyond the classroom. As a student here, I've enjoyed incredible opportunities. I represented the university as a Chatham House delegate for Brazil, worked as a sustainability education assistant, and served as both a community and international student ambassador. I even had the surreal honor of speaking on Sky News Breakfast, highlighting humanitarian issues, something I never imagined possible when I first arrived. None of our journeys happened in isolation. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to those who personally supported me throughout this incredible journey. To my parents, my brother Hassan Madni, and my grandparents, thank you for your love, support, and belief in me. Your strength and sacrifices made everything possible. To Dr. Nihiri Desandi, Dr. Emily Scott, and Carrie Myers, thank you for your support, feedback, and faith in me along the way. Your encouragement made a real difference, and this moment is as much yours as it is mine. And now, on behalf of our entire cohort, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to the academic and support staff in the School of Government, and to every individual who made this journey possible, to every family member, friend, and mentor who reminded us to keep going. Thank you. Your belief in us made this possible. To my fellow graduates, let's leave this place with open hearts and fearless minds. The world outside may feel uncertain, but we are not unprepared. We've been shaped by challenge, strengthened by community, and inspired by the people around us. We've learned to adapt, to lead, and to care. And this will guide us long after today. This is just the beginning. or as a great poet Allama Iqbal once said, "Sataron se aage jahan aur bhi hain, abhi ishq imtihan aur bhi hain." There are other worlds beyond the stars, and still more tests of passion to come. And before I close, I ask you to pause. Just for a moment, look around, take this in. This is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. We are surrounded by people who dared to dream, who kept showing up, who didn't give up. We are no longer just students. We are graduates of the University of Birmingham. We are change makers, and we are ready. Congratulations to the class of 2025. The future does not wait. It's ours to shape. Thank you.
I promise you this is the last speech. I'm all that stands between you and lunch, I am sure. But hello, everyone. Okay, let's try that again. Hello, everyone. Hello. That was a bit quiet. One more time, we need to raise the roof. Hello, everybody. Hello. That's a bit better. Can we have one more round of applause, cheers, whooping, everything for all the graduates today? Everybody. Now, I'm sure some of you wanted to make a lot of noise and thought, oh no, I wish I'd done that at the time. I'm going to give you one last chance to raise the roof so that everyone all over the world can hear you. Okay, one more time. Well done, well done, well done. My name is Sandy Okoro. It's an honour to be the Chancellor of this marvellous university. I'm a lawyer. I'm also a graduate of this university. So it's really a homecoming being here on stage today. I also stand here as the first female Chancellor of the university in a 125-year history. I am honoured to follow in the footsteps of 7 distinguished men, one of whom was Joseph Chamberlain, our first Chancellor, for whom the clock tower, Old Joe, is named. And as Baroness Amos said, this university has a huge history of civic and public service. And we are 125 years old this year. Happy birthday, University of Birmingham. Let's raise the roof one more time. I am 3 generations of Okoros who've been through this university. My mother, from the Windrush generation, studied nursing at QE. I'm from the Sony Walkman generation, did law and politics. And my son, Max, who's going to graduate on Thursday from the TikTok generation, that I'm going to give his degree to him on Thursday, will also be a graduate here. And let me just say, Abdi, who came up second to last, is his flatmate. So it was lovely to see him up here. So just a big congratulations one more time to all the graduates. But before you clap, and a special welcome to Baroness Amos and Paula's family here. So let's give everybody a big clap. It's so great to see all your supporters here making noise. That's what this is about, honestly. This is a celebration. But before I go on to a little bit more of my speech, I want all the graduates to say thank you to all your supporters at the front, your friends, your family, all of those who've made you who you are today and have seen you through this. I know how much that means. So all the graduates at the back, please raise the roof for your supporters. Do you want to do that one more time? Because that was a bit weak, graduates. Come on. You can do louder than that. Raise the roof for all your supporters at the front. This university is a university of firsts. And I'm just going to tell you a few that you may not know. As you've heard, it was the first civic university. It was also the first university to have a faculty of commerce. It was the first university to incorporate a medical school into the university itself, and the first to welcome women as to take medical degrees. It's also the first university, I love this one particularly, to offer a degree in physical education. So a lot of firsts there. The university has also helped shape the world. We have 10 Nobel Prize winners here at the university who passed through the university, and their work has changed the world. The cavity magnetron, now I know many of you might be scratching, this is social sciences, many of you might be scratching your head as to what that is. Well, this transformed radar technology and helped alter the course of World War II, but it's also found in every microwave oven. Invented here at the University of Birmingham. The airbag, invented here at the University of Birmingham. Pacemakers and heart valves, invented here at the University of Birmingham. And today, our labs do a lot of work in medical advances in relation to cancer treatments, so more to come. So the university makes history. We make history. And so, class of 2025, you are now part of that history, and you are going to make history. Of that, I have no doubt. My father once said to me, your education is something no one can ever take away from you. And that's something I have carried with me, and I hope you will carry that with you as well. And although your time, graduates, may be coming to an end here, you will always have a home here. This is your home. We have a world-class career, this is the pitch, by the way, we have a world-class career service, a vibrant global alumni network, and opportunities to stay connected. So please, please stay connected. We love you. As Sister Sledge said, we are family. So please, never forget you're part of the family of the University of Birmingham. And as you step into the next chapter of your life, I just want to share a few little tips with you. Now, this is going to sound a little bit overrated. This is going to sound a little bit strange, given the circumstances we're in. But, graduates, cleverness is overrated. Okay? We all know you're clever. We just saw you come on stage, get your degrees, get your certificates. Wonderful. I'm not saying the money you spent on your education has been wasted. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, being clever alone is not enough. I'm going to give you 5 things that I think you need to take with you, along with your degrees and along with the massive brain of yours. I call this the CMPKR principle. C is for curiosity. Never, never, never stop learning. Never stop asking questions. Never stop exploring. Go beyond your comfort zone. And remember, opinion is not a fact. What is the data telling you? Where is the proof? Be your own fact checker. Albert Einstein said, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. M is for motivation. Set your sights high. Move towards your goal with purpose. When I was little, I told my mum that I wanted to be a judge. And she said, well, get on with it. What are you waiting for? So I say to you, get on with it. What are you waiting for? Dream big. P is for people skills. Life is not a solo act. There is no I in team. Learn to connect. Learn to be compassionate. Learn to be patient. Learn to build bridges. And if for you, you really don't like people, some people don't like people, you may be neurodivergent, then let P be for perspective. The world needs thinkers and observers as much as it needs talkers and doers. The way you see the world might just be the very insight we need to make the world a better place. There is an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And Temple Grandin, who's a scientist and a neurodiversity advocate, said, different is not less. R is for resilience. You're going to fall down, we all do. It's not the falling down that's the failure, it's the not getting back up. Things will come, they'll knock you over, but get back up. You might want to stay down there for a little bit, have a cup of tea, eat some chocolate biscuits, whatever it is that makes you feel better, but get back up and keep going. K is for kindness. Kindness is not a weakness. It's courage in action. Desmond Tutu said, "Do a little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good that put together that overwhelm the world." So that's C for curiosity, M for motivation, P for people or perspective, R for resilience, and K for kindness. Carry that with you and you will soar. So live your dream. Don't just have a plan, live a dream. Make that dream big. Dream of curing cancer. Dream of not just tackling climate change, but getting it sorted. Dream not of just writing a story that shaped the future, but dream of winning a Nobel Prize. Dream of building a better world. Dream, dream, dream big. And I'm going to end with a quote from Nelson Mandela. He said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." So, class of 2025, I salute you. Go out into the world, support one another, be kind, be bold, live your dreams, and never forget your superpower, as we've heard, is that you're a University of Birmingham graduate. Congratulations. Go change the world. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. Yeah, go be great. Go be great. Thank you. You can tell I'm being serious when I put my glasses back on. Okay. I now declare this congregation closed.
The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni has come to an end. The procession begins to stream out of the Great Hall, carrying with them the maces that were set down at the start of the ceremony. It's a nice bit of visual poetry that bookends the ceremony. As those maces are carried forward, so too are our graduates onto their next adventure. This is a powerful moment for our graduates, representing the culmination of years of dedicated study. The education, connections, and friendships they have made at Birmingham will last a lifetime. The University of Birmingham is known for producing great thinkers, change makers, and innovators. From Nobel Prize winners to sporting champions, this institution has shaped minds that go on to make a real difference in the world. Today's graduates are stepping into that legacy, ready to make their mark, whether they're heading into research, launching businesses, or, let's be honest, finally taking a proper break before the next adventure begins. From the Great Hall to the wider world, our graduates will carry the knowledge, ambition, and spirit of Birmingham in their next chapter. Wherever you're watching from, this is not just an ending, it is the beginning of something exceptional.